Do you guys understand what I mean by skill ceiling? The big argument of like Cassidy right now is he's fine in low elo, but he's terrible in high elo. And the reason why he's terrible in high elo is because the skill ceiling for other hits and characters are way higher. You can do more. That's something that like, this isn't to like trash talk lower elo players. It's more a sense, I don't think you will ever experience the frustration of playing Cassidy into 2 snipers. Because in lower elos, you can probably get away with running Cassidy against 2 snipers. I did. I was able to get away with it. Not really. Nowadays, Widow feels like they have aimbot. Okay, so that's statement. A big thing why a lot of players are so, I think they're so like disconnected with the game. A lot of people are saying that Mercy isn't OP, but the game has evolved for a very long time now. Back then when Mercy wasn't meta in Overwatch 1 was when the game didn't have all these characters yet. So the meta was pretty small. There weren't that many options that you could run. But now bruisers, off tanks have become extremely meta. When main tanks are meta, you don't see a lot of Mercy at all. Why? Because the off tanks can hard carry. I don't think people are like understanding the game as a whole, which is why when they get extremely defensive about their hero, like in high elo, I'm just like, I think you're just so disconnected by like how the game has evolved for so long. There's some characters that were worse than before because the meta was different, the numbers were different, some heroes had different abilities. Now it's a 5v5 as well. Like there's just so many reasons. We all knew that, and also double sniper was going to be OP, and they kind of let loose when they nerfed like dive. I personally do not think they should have nerfed dive. Genji is very, very healthy for the game. Sojourn is not. Oh my god, nice sleep. You're insane. Yep, I think so too, Moon. I think Railgun should deal like a max of like 140. Max. It shouldn't one-shot a Tracer. They should just buff her actual left click because it requires more tracking. And you need to deal more like, actually hit them more like Cass. Cass is a balanced hero because you require multiple shots to kill an enemy. It's not one shot. TTK is something I feel like a lot of Overwatch players don't understand either. If you play DPS, you have a very good understanding of what TTK is. Sojourn's TTK is way too OP.
Or sorry, not the Nana boost. I have Kitsune rush.
I was gonna say.
So
yeah, I can kill her. I can kill her. I cannot kill her.
Alright, there you go.
Oh, I fell. I got her though. Worth. TTK on... Alright, listen, hear me out. It's okay for Cass because he does no damage long range. I would actually argue Ash's range, her TTK range should just be like Cass's. She has way better abilities. Does anyone know Ash's like dynamite damage? I'm actually very curious because people argue that Sticky is broken. Dynamite is way more OP than Sticky. I don't know what fucking world you're living in, but I'd much rather have an AoE explosion that deals the same amount of damage than a one target ability. Dynamite is way better. I don't know what copium people are on. AoE, infinite range, it just requires you to aim and hit it once. That's it. I think I'm dead. Oh, big slam. Holy shit. You're insane. Jesus.
You want for it?
Is he done?
Nice.
Oh, she gone.
Oh, click top.
Ash one. Got her. Pick a one. Didge. She's one. I'm done. I haven't even started talking about hitbox sizes and animation yet on characters. She's one. Ash is one. Swing at her. Nice. I haven't even talked about hitbox size, the way a character moves. Like, these are all things that are quote-unquote like variables that makes the character strong or weak. Cass is very easy to aim at. His hitbox are also huge. There's also heroes like Sigma. His hitbox is a Dorito. Sojourn is like a pair. Typically in this game, you aim head level or like neck level or chest level, right? But the thing is, because her thighs are bigger, like the hitbox is thicker, it's bigger. When you try to time your shots, you're usually gonna miss because you're so used to aiming at a hero that's like oval. There's so many things that makes certain heroes stronger than others. That's why I think Valorant does a really good job making things fair. I'm not coping, chat. This is like, when you actually break it down, think to yourself, why are some characters easier to hit than other characters? Hitbox and animation is one. Yeah, like Kiriko's hand thing. Kiriko's running animation is so weird. That's why typically you're missing on Kiriko's more than like, let's say, Widowmaker. I think their hitbox looks similar, but the running animation is different.
Hero. Dive hero. Dive hero. Rezzing.
I can go Ash. Maybe? Oh my god, big slam.
Funny. More funny.
Big. No, GG. Okay, type 1 in the chat if you agree with what I was saying just now about the entire thing. I'm not just talking about abilities now. I'm talking about a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to balancing a game. That's why I always say I don't think the devs actually are aware of the stuff and variables that makes a game competitive. I don't think Overwatch is going to ever be like a super competitive game because of like all these variables. It just doesn't make any sense, especially the hitboxes. That's like one thing that people just don't know because you guys don't hear about it. You guys only think of abilities. It's very simple to digest, but when you think about walking animation, when you think about the hitbox size, when you think about the shape of their hitbox too, because that's why some characters are harder to hit than others. I think Sojourn, the character, if she had an easier hitbox, I don't think she would be this oppressive. I think that would be actually a pretty good counter to her. Have her hitbox like Cassero's, like big hitbox for DPS. So at least you can punish her a little bit easier because she's so hard to hit. She has the pair hitbox.
Someone.
I got punched. I remember the first time when I actually like realized like hitboxes were actually very, very important in a game like Overwatch was when they released Sigma. I think Sigma's hitbox, because it's a Dorito shape, I think it was like the most different type of hitbox. Oh, I'm dead. Not dead. I'm dead. If you look at all the tank's hitboxes, every tank should be pretty easy to hit, but Sigma's is weird, bro. I had to learn how to aim at Sigma. Freaking Dorito looking character, dude. Signing, guys. Doom south. No, he's still on Doom. She's done.
Nice.
Gota, what are your thoughts, chat, on making every single character OP instead of like trying to make sure every character is equally, you know, as the other heroes? The Dota approach. I actually had this thought a long time ago where since Overwatch is ultimately a very hard game to balance, why not just make every hero OP in their own way? What if you were like Sojourn as OP as Sojourn, but in your own way, like the character that you're playing? Because Overwatch is such a hard game to balance. It will never ever be balanced. Ever. Never ever ever. It would be a weird and interesting mess. Would it be more weird than now? Hard to say, but I think right now there just needs to be more changes. Like I do think the hitbox thing, that conversation should be discussed. I actually don't think Sojourn would be as OP if she was easier to hit, like her hitbox was even. Yes, she does a ton of damage and she can like have a huge outplay potential, but that is something that you can quote unquote make her weaker in instead of just like nerfing her abilities. Obviously her abilities are definitely overtuned, but that is just an example. How do you feel about Overwatch? Big Overwatch creators trying to use the platform to create a hive mind. Okay, I don't like that actually a lot. That's what I've noticed recently, where Overwatch feels like politics. The whole balance changes, it just feels like politics. I'm not a huge fan of that. They like the devs need to just listen to their own group. If you understand how to balance a game, balance it. However, if you don't know, it's okay. Maybe just hire more people to help out. Get qualified people. Yes, oh, he's on me. 1 times. You can die. Noise.
Oh wow, no 2 tapped.
What the? It's high noon, guys. Interesting, Sindo. So do you think it's like the higher ups that's kind of controlling like the balance changes? I just feel like if the game is balanced, wouldn't the game have more longevity equals more profit for like the top? I think Overwatch is a f***ing amazing game. The problem is the balancing. It's been the balancing. Stay on it. This is winnable, guys. Trust me, it's winnable. Can we all agree on making Sojourn's hitbox a little bit better? Thoughts? Just a 1? She's stuck. Oh. We lost to Mora. Sim 1. Sim dead. Demon's 1, Demon's 1, Demon's 1.
I'm playing on the left side so I can heal you.
You got Dim? Hey, where's Tristan?
Up on point here.
Sharpshooter, bigger thighs, no, bigger torso, and I think a bigger head hitbox too. She's actually pretty hard to hit in the head compared to like other DPSs. Like Junkrat has a huge hitbox. I don't know if you guys know this. She's the 1. She's dead.
Ow.
Dude, Kirito's DPS to me? Junkrat has a huge head hitbox. Casserole has a huge head hitbox. Other DPSs have big ones. Soldier 76's head hitbox is actually pretty balanced. Torb has a freaking huge head hitbox. I think characters, I'm pretty sure Baby Diva's head hitbox is actually bigger than Kiriko's. Yeah, I think Soldier's hitbox is actually very, very fair. I think every single DPS model should be like going off of his. It's not hard, but it's not easy. It's like not super easy like Torb's.